Every new author has a story to claim. Sit back, listen to conversation between Terry Lynn and new authors on the rise, and let the journey begin.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to my podcast, Conversations Between Terry Lynn and New Authors. On this episode, I'm talking with a newly children's book author, Alison Gieschen. She wrote an early reader chapter book about a mermaid. Welcome, Alison.
Thank you very much. It's an honor to be here today.
Please tell us about your writing and your first book.
So this is my very first early chapter reader book, and this story came to me when I saw this absolutely beautiful painting of a mermaid, of a child in a mermaid shop. And I bought a print of it, and she just absolutely inspired me to write a story about her. And I knew instantly her name was Sienna. And I actually wrote the story on the plane ride home back to my house. And like the 6-hour plane ride, I got my pen and paper out, and the story was done by the time we landed in Philadelphia. So she was definitely an inspired story.
Sounds like a real interesting book. I will have to buy it when it's available. What inspired you to write stories for children?
Well, I was a school teacher for many years, and uh, one of the ways that I absolutely captivated my classrooms, my third graders, was by telling them stories. And it was just amazing to see the looks on their faces and how they just responded to a really good story. And I'm like, I need to do this. I need to write children's books someday. So finally got to the place where and something inspired me, and I just did it.
Always wished I could teach or at least work with kids. I just know it must be such a rewarding, meaningful, and fulfilling job. Where did the idea for your first book come from?
Well, the mermaid painting, but I also named my daughter Catherine Ariel after the Little Mermaid. So mermaids have always been something that have fascinated me. So it made perfect sense that Destiny had me see this picture of this mermaid, beautiful mermaid child, and that be my first story.
What age group do you write for, and why that age in particular?
This book is for readers probably from second or third grade, depending on their reading ability, up until 8, 9, 10-year olds. It's just your basic chapter group and a chapter book, early reader chapter book. And I just love the enthusiasm of early readers that learn to get into good stories and discover the magic of a good story. And that's why I was inspired by that age group.
What's your favorite children's book from your own childhood?
My favorite story was 5 O'Clock Charlie, about this big old draft horse who would walk into town every day in a village somewhere in Europe, and he would eat the apple pie that this lady would bake every day and put out on her windowsill to cool. And 5 o'clock Charlie would come by. I guess it had to be at 5 o'clock, and he would eat that pie every day. And it was just the sweetest story about this draft horse and this little old lady that baked the apple pies.
I will have to look it up. Sounds like a real cute book. How was it like seeing your story come to life through illustrations?
Oh, that's been absolutely amazing. I found an illustrator by accident. I thought I was actually contacting a friend of mine who had a very similar name, but it was actually this woman I did not know, didn't know she existed, and she was a 7-time award-winning children's book illustrator from England. And I said, "Oh, I've written this book. Would you be about a mermaid? Would you be interested in illustrating it?" And she said, "Well, send me the story. I'll take a look at it." And I sent it to her, and she goes, "Oh my gosh, I love this book. I have to illustrate it." And that's when I found out it wasn't the person I knew at all. It was some stranger in England. So it was like, a match made in heaven. And she's a 7-time international award-winning illustrator for a reason. Her drawings are just magical, and really brought tears to my eyes. It's been so beautiful.
Yeah, seeing our stories coming to life through illustrations is pretty magical.
Absolutely. Especially since I can't draw.
How did it feel when you held your book for the first time?
Well, I haven't actually held it yet because it's going to be finished and completed hopefully in the next month. But when I do hold it, it's going to be like, I guess, like having my first baby. You hold it in your hands, you can't believe it's there, and you just love it the moment it touches your arms.
Sure that August can't get here fast enough for you.
That's true.
What do you hope children take away from your book?
I really like the idea of children understanding the concept of difficult choices because as a child you're faced with them, and this is a coming of age story about this young mermaid who has a very difficult decision to make. So I want them to come away with the idea that there are going to be choices they have to make, and they need to make good decisions and follow their heart and weigh the consequences and feel good about their decisions.
Those are great lessons and advice. Ever had a child's reaction to your book surprise or move you?
I actually, because I'm so isolated, my husband and I are actually sailing around the world on a 43-foot sailboat, and I'm in the middle of the Pacific Ocean right now as we're doing this podcast. So I have not had any children to read my story to, but my illustrator, who has read many, many books, said that this is one of her favorites. So I'm hoping that the children who read the book will have the same reaction.
Wow, sailing around the world. I'm jealous. I know you guys will have an incredible experience.
Well, it's been adventurous so far. We've been out for 7 years, so we're just now getting to the French Polynesian, so we have a long way to go. But yes, it's an amazing experience and an amazing life.
Where did you guys start from?
We started from the east coast of the United States, and we crossed the Atlantic Ocean and made it all the way to Ireland and England and the Mediterranean. We crossed back across the Atlantic, went through the Panama Canal, and now we're going to see the other half of the world.
What advice would you give to someone dreaming of writing a children's book?
I think my best advice is to pick something that you're really passionate about, because you want it to be so real for you that when it's like transcribing a movie from your mind, you need to feel the emotions, you need to see the sights, smell the smells, and feel as if you're there, because when you create the story from that context, it makes it real for your readers.
Thank you, Allison, for that great insight. To write as if you are there in the story.
Yes.
What can we expect from you in the future? Your upcoming books?
Well, I have the sequel already written to Sienna. I figured it was only fair that if you have a girl mermaid, there needs to be a strong male counterpart. So my next book is called Marlin. And like I said, it's already been written and I'm fine tuning it. And it's a great uh, accompaniment because Marlin is in Sienna's story and Sienna is in Marlin's story. So I'm kind of making a series out of it.
Wow, a sequel. It seems like you have a hit in making.
Oh, let's hope so. And all of my husband and I are avid scuba divers. So one of my emphasis in these books are that all of the sea creatures are based on real creatures. So they learn a lot of facts about them. And all these facts about sea life and conservation and all that type of stuff is weaved into the stories.
I love that you put some facts about sea life creatures in your books. How can people get a hold of you and find your books, your website, your email address, your Amazon page, etc.?
They can go just to AlisonGieschen.com, and there's links to my sailing blog. So that if they want to see where we are in the world or read the stories of my sailing, it's on there, sailmates.org. It has the links to my books on Amazon, and it has all kinds of author stories on there.
Thank you, Allison, for your information. I will put the link to your website and your blog in this episode's notes below.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that.
Is it anything else you want people to know about you?
Um, let's see. I think that my life is kind of an open book because I do so much blogging and story writing. And if they really want to know anything about me, I am sure they can find it either on sailmates.org or on AlisonGieschen.com, because I love storytelling and I do it a lot.
That's great, Allison. Thank you, Allison, for talking with me on my podcast, Conversations Between Terry Lynn and New Authors on the Rise.
Well, thank you for having me. It's been an absolute pleasure. And I think what you do is amazing.
Thank you, Allison, for that nice compliment. It was so nice to meet you and talk with you. Okay, my listeners, tune in next week when I talk with the new children's book author, Judith Yu. Until then, happy reading with your kiddos.